Hello everyone. Hello ladies and boys. I hope you're well. I'm very excited as usual every time I start a new video, and I'm very sorry, I apologize, as it's been quite a long time I've not posted anything. Uh, the thing is I just got a kind of extra job beside to get my payrolls like correct. So I apologize again for that. So I'm very excited today for coming back here. And what I want to show you with these tutorials is I'm talking about threshold on Procreate. Threshold on Procreate, it is something very important, especially when you fill out the colors, when you drop colors in. Because the thing is, sometimes when you drop color in, it doesn't feel like very well when you zoom in the design. So we'll talk about mainly about this today, and we're gonna draw from scratch to the final design all together. So grab your pen, even if you don't have any iPad, you can still enjoy to follow along with me on a piece of paper, any pens you've got. For a Procreate artist, just yes, take your super Apple pencil and let's start, guys. So today, what I'm gonna draw, um, well, what we gonna draw? I'm not alone. We're gonna draw together, all along together, a cute bee. I want to draw a cute curtain bee. So we're gonna make the scratch first, as usual, the inks, and we're gonna follow along the next steps to the colors and highlights and shadings. Or maybe we'll see more shading and highlights, but the main point is I want to show you how to fill up and drop your color perfectly into your design. All right, so let's start, guys, with a scratch. So first of all, about my canvas dimensions, I have set it up at 2000 by 2000, and for a new people just started iPad and you have no idea how to set your Canva, I will just show you. So you go to the plus button here, you see, here, and you go, by example, you have a random size at 3000 by 3000, sometimes it happens. So what you do is you click like this, you go here, you go to your canvas icon, crop and resize, and then here you have settings. So you type on here, right here, you stay in pixels if you want to stay in pixels. So let's set up at 2000 by 2000 pixels, which is fine for a design which is going to be only be featured on your social media or anything like that. So in the DPI, let's stay at 300 DPI. Now you click down, and here we go. You have a canvas size of 2000 by 2000 pixels. All right, guys, let's start. So to start that cute little bee, I usually always like to start by the eyes because I think they've kind of been the main center of a face. So let's start to make probably like some two big and round balding shape eyes. So I think the eyes are going to be a bit bigger than the body, which is going to bring this more cartoon feel to it. So right, let's start. So to draw the eyes, we can, I think I'm going to draw more like very circle eyes, not like ovals. So you grab your pen. I usually like to use the technical pen, but if you want to use another one, like one of your favorite pen to start, feel free to do it. So that the dimensions, I'm going to stay at about 18%. So to start, I'm going to draw big ovals like this. If you want to make perfect circle, you see, you can rotate and move around, but if you want to make it perfect, you just with your left hand do like this and just scale up and scale down at the same time. Okay, so right, so now let's make the other eyes. This one's going to be smaller as the perspective, so it's kind of almost a half circle. It's like hidden behind this one, right, with this perspective. Okay, so now let's start to draw pupils. I'm gonna make pupils like that. Yes, something like this. And see the look, it's already like, can already guess that it's gonna get some very cartoon feel to it, right? So now for the body shape. So first of all, I'm gonna go to the branch icon here, and I'm gonna, I think, replace it, move it here to make some room for the body. So for the shape, I think I'm gonna make like a big ovals like this. So probably is gonna make maybe something round like this. Yep. Trying to figure it out. So actually, yep, that shape, that dynamic, yes, and very circle here on the bottom part and on the top as well, and both just meet here on this cross, right? It's just only a sketch, so you don't have to be worried that everything goes perfectly. So for, I guess, for the mouth. So for the mouth, what I want to do is I want to draw a cute little mouth here, like a crescent shape. It's gonna make like a crescent shape, kind of cute smile, something like that. Maybe, yes, with a little tongue inside. So very tiny mouth, big eyes, and a little bit smaller, more body compared to the eyes. For the eyebrow, I'm gonna make it this shape, like a moon shape. Gonna make the other one like this as well. Yep. There we go. Right. Now, of course, as it's a bee, let's make some wing, maybe some wing like that style, like quite oval and quite boldy, quite bold style as well. Let's give it some textures inside, some texture wings. As I said, it's a sketch, so we don't have to be worried at all that everything goes perfect, right? Okay, so our fundamental part are now drawn. So I wanna draw some very slim, very thin arms, legs. Sorry. So I'm gonna draw it like this. I'm gonna draw it like that. Right, guys. Okay. So now pretty much done. So I think let's add now some, I guess, some strips that the bee or the waves got usually. So let's make it this dynamic. Let's follow the right dynamic. That's curving this way, but not this way, right? So let's make it something like that. Another one here too. It's like behind these eyes. And today I could draw on a separate layer to be more comfortable with this. I can show you like this. You can erase the over on it. So you open a new layer and you don't have to be worried to cross over or draw over the eyes, because you just draw it on a separate layer and you make like this. And you can have more you can feel more comfortable to draw your line entirely than to stop here and keep going here if it was in the same layer. So now you can erase very nicely without causing damage to this line as it's on separate layer. So you can actually do the same here as well. Here we go. Right. Now we can erase here this part. Yes. Okay. Cool. So now what you can do is actually you can merge down with your finger with both layers. And if you have difficulties to do with your fingers, you can go here, tap on here, separate layer, and go to merge down, and it will automatically merge both layers into one. Okay, right. So now we've done that. Maybe let's add a couple of textures, but I think for the extra details we can definitely make it ones we're going to int. So this sketch is basically a guide where the fundamentals are going. So now for character design, let's place it here, and I think we can add a couple of, not a background, but kind of flowers here maybe. Kind of create the environment of a bee. So make a circle to make a flower. Exactly do the same that you did pretty much for the wing of the bee. I like to draw disproportional, like one flake is bigger than the other one. One is like middle size, another one is maybe wider. And you play with also the different size and different dimensions, which gives again this very cartoonish and disproportion feel to your design. So make a thing like that, right? Okay, so designs. Okay, you can rotate your canvas like that. Can make maybe some grass, kind of some grass here in that shape, kind of cloud textures. Okay. Let's draw another one this way. Let's make a circle again. pretty much done with it. I think we can add some maybe cherries, kind of something like that, some fruits. It's very sketchy, and once we're gonna ink, it's gonna look more nicer and cleaner, especially with the lines. Alright, maybe I'm gonna make my V a bit smaller. So for that, as we draw on the same layer, if you want to scale down one of your design, you go here to the lasso tools and stay in freehand, and you just select the element that you want to scale or you want to move. So now I click here on the arrow and I can just see proportion how I want it. So I guess I'm gonna make it this way. Alright guys, so now we're good to go. I think we can start for our inks. So to put our inks, what I need to do first is you need to drop down the opacity. Why? Because you will have a better visibility once you will ink your sketch, of course. So for the sketch, you open a new layer and you stay always above the sketch layer. So you can even name it. Just rename here, keyboard, and just taps inks. Right. So now for the inks, I'm gonna choose, of course, the black. I'm gonna stay traditional and stay with the black. Then for the brush, let's use the studio pen. Okay, studio pen is good. Right. So we can start to ink the design. So I stay like 22% is fine. So to start inking, I'm gonna make maybe the outline on this side thicker and thinner on this side. So when I start to do it is I press harder here, and of course thinner the other side. Thicker and thinner the other side. Thicker and thinner. Right. It's very practice. It's not easy, but it's just taking practice, guys. Okay. Now, same here. For the pupils, I'm gonna make like this. Now for the mouth, I'm gonna scale down my brush size at 6%, as it's a very smaller section, and I think I'm gonna make the mouth more this way, this inclination. Right. You see, it's not exactly on the same sketch layer, because once it's good with the inks is that you can decide where the things really goes once you ink, so you don't have to crucially respect to draw on a sketch. So for the eyebrows, I'm going to decide as well to make it less thicker. So I'm going to make like more thinner eyebrows. Yeah. Let's just drop the black color. So now for this part of the body, what I'm going to do to get the right flow and to be comfortable to draw in the same dynamic, I'm going to open a new layer, and I think I'm going to start from here, and now I can just draw the first part like this, because the thing is, if you start to draw like this, you can read it all off, but if you want to make it like more bold, actually we can. So you got ones like this, that's it. I think, yes, let's stay like this, more like very bold shape on B. So that looks pretty cute and cool. Okay, now so you take your eraser and see, I came over here. So as it's on separate layer, it's not destructive. So you don't really disturb over lines. You don't really clear as it on separate layer. So for this kind of workflow, I advise you to always open a new layer. Okay, so now let's merge down both. Let's open a new layer, as again, one part of this wing's gonna cross over this line. So in the same case, open a new layer, and now you're good to go. So I'm gonna press harder on this side and lighter on the other side. That's it. Do the same here. I'm gonna now switch off layer to erase this part, and I can merge down with my finger, just pinch it. Okay, now let's draw here some textures on the wings, some stuff like this. Let's open a new layer and start to make those strips. So for the strips, I'm gonna make first one like this. Oops, as in on separate layer, I guess I can stay on the same layer at the moment, so as it doesn't cross over. So I stay on the same layer, I just drop this one to make this one and just make this inclination. And you start from here, and with a line C, you can fix it here, right? The other one, start from here, and again, locked in. And I can drop the black. So now for this one, again, the issue is that you will have to cross over the eyes. So you open a new layer here, and now you don't have to be worried to line over the other line. So you can actually start from here and get the right flow. So you can do like this, right? And I start from here to get the very good dynamic of it. So now like this, again, now like this, like that, like that, and like this. And now what I'm gonna do is, of course, I'm gonna erase those lines who are not very necessary to be visible. And it's not destructive at all, as I draw on separate layers. So every time you have this kind of crossing lines, make sure you always open a new layer. Yes. Okay. So now once I've done that, I just pinch those into one, and I can drop the black color very easily. Yes, like this. Right, guys. And I can make one more here. Okay. Add a couple of things. So now for the little legs. For the little legs, I can stay on the same layer. Why? Because anyway, it's going to be in black. So I don't have to necessarily open a new layer. It's not really necessary to do it. So as I'm going to drop the black, we cannot see that it's crossing actually the overlines of the belly. Right. So here we go, guys. Our cute bee, it's pretty much done. Let's add one more arch like this. One more curve, a bit thicker for these lines. Okay, guys. Pretty much there. And a couple of more dots. So now let's start with flowers. So for the flowers, same, I'm going to set up at 13%. I'm going to make something like that. Same, thicker on this side, thinner on this side. Thicker on this side, thinner on this line. And I repeat the same. Like this. I'll make a smaller one here. Here I'm gonna make go once on this side and thinner on the other side. It's really like about how you deal with the pressure. It takes practice. So at home, don't hesitate to practice and to master the line weights. Yes. If you practice, you definitely get better. Trust me. Okay, so let's make some things like that. Right. Same here. I'm out to 13%. Couple of dots. Maybe. Like kind of grass bush in the background. Here behind as well. Let's add this couple more here. Kind of small cherries, fruits, apples, whatever it can be. Give this feel. Okay. Gonna make it again like this. Right. Okay. So let's add this flower. If it feels too difficult, maybe you feel too difficult to draw on the same layer, again you can open a new layer here and draw it over the overlines, and you can as well do the same like that. And you can play with different size of the flakes as well. So I'm gonna add textures here as well. Right. And probably make some curves like this. and erase this part, which this part is hidden behind this main flower. Right, so now what we can do is merge again our layer, and now we have everything on the same layer, right? Our ink is down. So now what you can do is you go to the sketch layer and you tick off, and you have your ink designs. So, right, I think something I will do is maybe kind of add a little cute mouth to this flower, and it gives like a very funny and a very cartoonish look, even more. So I'm gonna draw here the cheek. So to draw the cheek, you can rotate like that and make that kind of shape. For the eyes, I think best thing is you increase your size brush at 60%, and it's kind of a winking, like something like that. Yes, here we go. All right. I actually gonna again circle this one. So here with the lassos, and I'm gonna make it bigger. Yes, bigger as is the main character of the design. Alright guys, so now we're good to go for the next stage with the color. So first of all, what you need to do is always make sure you set your layer as a reference. Once you do that, you open a new layer and you place it under this one. You can rename it for an easier organization. You go straight to your keyboard and you do color. Right. Now we are good to go to drop color, and this is our main point. So I want you to know that to drop color on the design, you know, you can, let's select this yellow one, you can drop it like this, right? Just drop it like this, just throw it like this. But sometimes we don't really be careful. We have some white gaps here. We have some white gaps for whatever reasons. So what you can do to avoid this, and if you want your design to be filled perfectly, you drop it like that, and you see here you have continue filling with fresh old. And sometimes the fresh oil is like maybe less than 40%, which is leaving gaps. So to make sure to drop it well, you just do it like this, and from left to right you increase your size. Usually it's up to 90%. So I make it again, you do like this, and you can see the percentage is increasing as long as you go on the right. So now I'm at 88, 89, 90%. This is perfect. And I don't have any actually white gap and white space anymore. So I can do as well here the same, and see, if you go too further on the right at 100%, it will fill the whole canvas. So you just a little bit, just a tiny millimeters, go back like this, and see, it changed everything. So I guess at 95% it's already pretty well filled. So this is what, just like very essential information to do it. See, again, don't go usually at 100%, will fill up everything. So just stay even at 99, 95% is fine. So this is something very important, and that before I had some issues with those white gaps. So now you can zoom in and you see that everything just, in this case I drop a color like this, but there's no white gap. So in case of you have issue like this, now you will know how to handle it. For the tongue, if you for a small areas like this, very small area, don't make sure you zoom in. It's pixelized, but make sure you zoom in to fill up more comfortably. Right. So I guess before the start on the over, what I want to do is I want to open a new layer, put this one underneath, and I will rename it the background color. So I want to draw the background color in a separate layer. So I think for the background color, a blue will match very well with a yellow. So to know that, you just select the current color, you go to harmony, and you see which color can match with the design. So I guess I'm gonna choose the blue ones, and I'm gonna drop it. And the same for here. When I drop, if I go too further, it's gonna fill up the other part of the designs, which I don't want. So just drop it and stay like this at 90%, even it's fine. Right. So here a color as well. So I'm back to my color layer. Oops, I just forget this one. Sorry guys. I'm back to my color layers, and now I have a better visualization of what color I will put, because actually I like to put the background color first, as it will guide you which color you can use for your characters, to have this better visualization of the harmony you will make each other. Okay, so now I go to the green ones, gonna drop it here, kind of very flashy, very pop-up. And at the back side of the bush, I'm gonna choose a darker one as it's in the back behind. So I'm gonna choose like this. So again, see, 98%. It's fine. Now for the cherry, let's say we're cherries. So I don't really need to put threshold for this. It's very small. See, very small part of the design, so you don't have to be worried that it doesn't fill up very well. Those are mainly for the big areas, so for the small detail like this, there is no really matter. Okay, now for this flower, let's choose kind of very light yellow, kind of very bright, like brown light yellow. Maybe I'm gonna make it okay, more like this. And see, this one has got some squares, so to avoid every time to do it, to back and forth, do go here, you go to continue filling, and you can go so much quicker to fill up everywhere. This is another trick I really like to use. Right, so now for the flakes, what color should I put? What color should I put? Yes, okay, I'm gonna drop some very pink flashy colors. So again, on the small areas like this, you don't really need to use threshold, but you can see, like, you can go to a maximum, maybe 98%, and for the small areas you have no problem to do it. Up. For the other ones, let's use Let's use this kind of blue, or maybe a lighter blue. Yes, and I go to continue filling. You can zoom here to have a better approach. Up. Now for this one, I'm gonna make it orange, kind of this orange. Continue filling. So I win so much time by doing this. Yep. Okay, right. It's kind of plain, but I like how the colors match each other, especially with the background, who really guide me on my decision which colors I'm gonna put. So now for this part of the flowers, I'm gonna make this brown, kind of very rusty brown. Yes, and here we go. Here we go, guys. So see now, by typing clear of the background, which is mean those parts have not been filled yet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stay in off background, and I'm gonna choose the white colors, and I'm gonna drop it like this. Again, I use a threshold to do it. So for the tongue, I'm gonna drop it in red. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna color it here. Right. Now maybe let's make a new layer here. With a finger select this one and go to darker gradients of the blue. Increase the brush size, and let's draw it right like this. And you color inside. I'm going to choose another brush. It's going to fill up quicker. This one, so I choose the untitled brush, and I'm going to fill this in. And now what I'm going to make is I'm going to do a Gaussian blur of it. So you go to adjustments, you go to Gaussian blur, and from the right you go here to 51%, 64%, sorry, and now you unlock it. And you have pretty much your design down. So now I'm going to open a new layer, and let's make some kind of clouds. Like this. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to Gaussian blur, and I'm going to make those effects at about 17%. Alright guys, so I think that's it for today. I hope you really like it. I hope you like the process and everything. I'm gonna sign it. I really hope you enjoy the explanation about the threshold and how you can fill perfectly your designs. I hope you like all the process from scratch to finish. So again, thank you very much. If you have more questions to ask me about it, feel free to ask me. The design, I didn't put any highlights and shadings, but I think I wanted to live like simple, cute, and just plain. But I really hope you like the video. I hope it was not too boring. So please leave me all your comments, share some love. For the new Procreate beginners, just share some love and subscribe to my channel if you would like, if you like what I do. So thank you very much again, guys, and I see you soon for the next video. Have a great day, have a great night. Thank you. Bye.